In DC Comics' Dark Knight's Metal event, the Dark Multiverse is introduced, a realm of twisted, nightmarish alternate realities centered around grim outcomes for familiar heroes, often involving Batman. Tempus Fuginaut, an overseer from this dark multiverse, seeks to recruit heroes to combat the encroaching darkness. He explores various alternate Earths where pivotal events have gone awry, uncovering stories of potential and hope. Although few of these worlds offer promising allies in the struggle against the dark, here are his tales from the Dark Multiverse. In Batman Nightfall, a short story from Tales from a Dark Multiverse, Batman attempted to defeat Azrael, who had donned the Batman identity for himself and used it to commit extreme acts of violence in his name. However, unlike in the main world where Batman was successful in defeating Valley, the Batman of this world failed, and Azrael renamed himself to Saint Batman and became the ruler of Gotham City. 30 years have passed, and Saint Batman is still ruling over Gotham, except he is older and has become over-reliant on Venom to maintain his power. He leaves what appears to be the Batcave and arrives at Wayne Tower, where we learn Bruce is still alive. After stabbing Bruce and taking his mantle, Bruce was then vivisected as a method of torture and was forced to spend the next 30 years watching what Jean-Paul was doing to Gotham. However, Jean-Paul's grasp is slipping as we see uprising and explosions throughout Gotham, and a young man enters the city in secret and makes his way to Wayne Tower, defeating any of Saint Batman guards on the way. Bruce was freed by the son of Bane and his mother, Lady Shiva, who wanted revenge for when Jean-Paul killed Bane. They used nanotechnology and small robotic bats to heal Bruce and make him a cyborg. Meanwhile, we see a weakened Azrael, still haunted by visions of the Saint-Dumas, nearly drowning trying to repair parts of Gotham damaged in explosions. As Jean-Paul is taken back to the Batcave by his henchmen, he soon realizes that his venom supply is gone, and they have unexpected company as Tournay, Shiva, and newly restored Batman show up. Together they attacked Jean-Paul and his immediate subordinates, Cardinal and Torchbearer. Batman, who normally doesn't kill, begins to tell the henchmen that through Azrael, torture of the years, he agreed that he needed to change his ways and kill both of them. Meanwhile, Lady Shiva and the son of Bane defeated Saint Batman and decided it was time to finally restore the city. However, Batman claimed he had learned that there was no saving for Gotham, while Azrael broke him, killed them both. He then became the new ruler of Gotham and hung Saint Batman's corpse on a bat symbol, as a reminder with the chilling statement, "For 30 years you forced me to watch as you perverted my life's work, my name. But you weren't wrong before, Jean-Paul. You did keep this city standing. You started her down her new path. And the biggest truth is my biggest mistake was the same as yours in relying on anyone but myself. And now, thankfully, I'll never have to again. Gotham is mine, and I am hers." Our next story is the death of Superman from the Dark Multiverse. The death of Superman. Lois Lane becomes enraged and bitter after the death of her fiancé Superman by Doomsday's hands, believing the world failed him. After meeting the Eradicator, who failed to bring Superman back to life, Lois proposes that the two merge, turning Lois into the Eradicator. Taking extreme measures to make the world a better place, along with killing Lex Luthor, the Joker, and even Batman amongst others, Lois goes against the cyborg Superman after he kills Superboy and Steel. When the real but now weaker Superman returns and sees people's fear for Lois, the cyborg Superman prepares to kill the now reunited couple with a large kryptonite cannon. Lois then thoughtlessly kills the cyborg to protect Superman, but the resulting impact unleashed a kryptonite gas into the atmosphere, which the latter choked, accidentally killing him too. We leave Lois, who is now mourning and guilt-ridden for Superman's second and definitive death due to her actions. Our next story is the Blackest Night within the Dark Multiverse. In Blackest Night, Sinestro never had the powers of the White Lantern taken away, leading to Nekron and the Black Lanterns, consuming almost the entirety of the universe. Sinestro, now a Black-White Lantern hybrid called the Limbo Lantern, teams up with Dove Lobo and Mr. Miracle, the last mortal beings in the universe, to recreate the universe with Dove as a template However, when Mr. Miracle realizes that their efforts will only create a new universe, and Barda will still be destroyed, he betrays them, resulting in Dove's death. Sinestro then uses Lobo as the new template, after Lobo kills Mr. Miracle in revenge. However, the result is no better, leaving Sinestro to find another way to recreate the universe, as the one he is in has been taken over by new life forms, who worship Lobo. Eventually, Sinestro decides to leave that universe to reside in the current one. Tempest Fugon punishes Sinestro by trapping him in that universe forever. Moving on, our next story is Infinite Crisis from the Dark Multiverse. We see worlds destroyed and histories rewritten. In our tale from the Dark Multiverse, we follow Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle, who wasn't killed by Maxwell Lord. Instead, it is Lord who dies. Taking control of Brother Eye and Checkmate, Kord seeks to bring peace to the universe through methods deemed questionable by Batman, who feels that Kord wields too much power after learning of the various things Kord has done since Lord's death. Kord tracks a mysterious signal and discovers Lex Luthor of his world dead. It is here that we are introduced to Superboy Prime and Alexander Luthor of Earth 3, who attempt to persuade Kord to ally with him in destroying multiple Earths to create a single perfect one. When Kord refuses, Luthor kills the Earth 2 Superman and Lois Lane, who appeared to question Luthor's intentions and subsequently killed himself by Superboy Prime in retaliation. Kord teams up with Superboy Prime and concludes that the only way to achieve true peace is to convert everyone into Omax, as Brother Eye tells him that costumed heroes are the main cause of problems in the multiverse. The plan is to remove them from the equation. He assigns Superboy Prime to handle the Titans. However, when Superboy Prime injures one, we see his body being overtaken by the OMAC nanovirus. Similarly, all those who oppose Kord are quickly converted into Omax, including Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. When Booster Gold arrives, he pleads with Kord to stop, pointing a gun ready to kill his friend to save the world. However, Brother Eye acknowledges the threat and kills Booster, which drives Kord mad and leaves him vulnerable. He then agrees to merge completely with Brother Eye, and together, they rule the world as all-powerful entities. Our next tale follows us into the story involving the Teen Titans called the Judas Contract. On the night Dick Grayson gives up being Robin, he has a private discussion with Tara and empathizes with her. He explains that having a mentor can sometimes limit one's ability to forge their own path and truly understand their own potential. Tara reports to Deathstroke shortly afterward, who harshly reprimands her for opening up to Dick. Inspired by Dick's words and determined to assert her independence, she murders Slade in a fit of rage and forces Wintergreen to inject her with the same serum that granted Deathstroke his powers, using threats against people Wintergreen cared deeply about. Unlike Slade, who was left in a coma for weeks, Tara easily survives the transformation. Now calling herself Gaia, and viewing herself as a goddess with unparalleled powers, she sets out on a destructive rampage against the Teen Titans. Her first victims are Raven and seemingly Changeling, whom she attacks by blowing up Titan's tower with devastating force. She continues her rampage visiting Starfire, Cyborg, and Donna Troy, ruthlessly killing each one of them without mercy. Her final target is Dick Grayson, whom she confronts and thanks for setting her free, before launching a vicious attack. Dick narrowly escapes into the streets outside, but Gaia catches up to him. Just as she is about to strike the final blow, Kid Flash intervenes, saving Dick. Wally reveals the plan to keep Gaia at bay long enough for Superman to arrive. Superman arrives as the last two Titans die and threatens Gaia, but even the Man of Steel proves to be no match for her, as Gaia wields her control over Kryptonite with devastating effect. After eliminating Changeling, the last person who cared about her, Gaia claims dominion over the shattered Earth, enforcing a reign of terror and fear upon the remaining survivors. In Tales from the Dark Multiverse, we visit the story Batman Hush, and are introduced to Batman the Silenced. In this world, the Elliots raise Bruce Wayne instead of Alfred after Bruce's parents are killed in Crime Alley. Years later, when Thomas Elliott's parents die in a car crash, he commits Bruce to Arkham Asylum and becomes the Senator of Gotham and CEO of Wayne Enterprises, thanks to connections from his girlfriend, Talia al Ghul, the head of the League of Assassins. With the help of Gotham's other elites, they turn the city into a militaristic state. Thomas heads to Arkham Asylum, where he meets Jonathan Crane, the director, who informs him that Bruce has died after years of deteriorating mental health. Crane then explains the tests he performed on Bruce, including fear toxin experiments. Thomas threatens Crane to keep their dealings secret and then leaves. As Crane departs, he encounters Jack Napier, the janitor, as the lights go out. A figure dressed as Batman attacks Crane as the scene fades to black. As Elliot flies back, the mysterious Batman is seen perched on a gargoyle. The aircraft is hit by a rocket and crashes into the ground. Elliot recovers before being attacked by the Outsiders, a vigilante group led by Barbara Gordon, who seeks to rid Gotham of Elliot's military oppression since the death of her father, Jim Gordon. Elliot is rescued by Richard Grayson from the Court of Owls and interrogates Barbara about the attack. Barbara leads Elliot to Jason Todd, whom Elliot meets alongside Grayson. As Todd warns Elliot that he is to die by his hand, the mysterious Batman attacks, seemingly beating Grayson and Todd as Elliot escapes. Elliot returns home to find a picture referencing the movie the Waynes saw before they died. Fearing Talia is plotting to kill him, which she denies, he goes to the old Wayne Manor searching for clues. There, he meets an injured Grayson, who explains he was there to protect Elliot. Grayson turns on Elliot after realizing he and the Batman are connected, and that Thomas is making a play for the Wayne family's fortune and presidency. The two are then captured by the Batman, who takes them to an underground prison housing Gotham's elite. Thomas is attacked by the masked man known as the Silenced, who is revealed to be an insane Bruce Wayne. With Alfred's help, Bruce discovers that Thomas orchestrated the deaths of their parents and Jim Gordon. Bruce and Alfred planted a handyman named Jack Napier in Arkham to fake Bruce's death and grant him access to several inmates who trained him as a warrior. He keeps Thomas and the rest of Gotham's elite in cages monitored by Jack and the now delusional Alfred, who is set to inherit Wayne Industries. Talia begins dating President Lincoln March, and the Silenced sets his sights on taking down the Court of Owls and the League of Assassins next. After the War of the Gods, Wonder Woman is possessed by the magic goddess Hecate, but manages to trap her in her subconsciousness. Phobos, a servant of Hecate, begins his plans to free the witch and help her gain control of Wonder Woman, starting with the deaths of Diana's loved ones, including Steve Trevor. Phobos then orders a bomb strike on Themyscira, killing Queen Hippolyta. Diana starts to show signs of weakening her hold on Hecate, who whispers evil thoughts to her. When Diana confronts Phobos, he reveals his plan to kill her loved ones, causing an emotional response that allows Hecate to take over. Under Hecate's control, she declares war on the gods of Olympus, systematically killing several of them until she realizes they lack the power they once had, due to humans no longer worshipping them. Humanity has turned to new gods, namely superheroes. Hecate then turns her attention to the White House, occupying it and declaring herself queen, which garners the immediate attention of the Justice League. Superman, Batman, Zatanna, and other heroes go to the White House to reason with Wonder Woman, but they soon discover she is being controlled by Hecate. The heroes attempt to fight her but fall one by one, starting with the Flash, Batman, Martian Manhunter, and Guy Gardner. Eventually, Hecate rips Superman's heart from his chest. Zatanna, alongside several magic users like Dr. Fate and The Question, begins an incantation to trap Hecate. Despite their efforts, heroes like Dove and Orion are seemingly killed in the process. In a last-ditch effort to seal the witch, all the heroes except Zatanna perish. But their attempt is successful. Hecate is imprisoned and kept captive until Zatanna can find a way to free her. However, the damage is done, and with Phobos still causing havoc, the world remains in peril as the story concludes. In the Tales from the Dark Multiverse story, we revisit Crisis on Infinite Earth. This time, Tempest observes a different outcome. The Justice League has been defeated by Surtur, an Asgardian god who begins his assault on Prime Earth, now known as Earth 2. Here the heroes are the Star Squadron, or Justice Society of America, JSA, led by Green Lantern Alan Scott. The JSA, still recovering from a previous crisis, confronts Surtur but is quickly overpowered. Early casualties include Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and the Spectre. As the battle intensifies, more heroes fall, including Robin and Wonder Woman, while Superman is gravely injured. Power Girl steps up to delay Surtur, allowing the remaining heroes to regroup and strategize. In a temporal space, the surviving heroes tend to their injuries, mourn their losses, and devise a plan. Hope persists as they prepare for a final stand. Outside, Surtur threatens to destroy the sea. Superman leads the Justice Society in a last attempt to stop him. Hippolyta Trevor, Wildcat, and Johnny Thunderbolt engage Surtur and his minions, while Green Lantern and Starman distract the god. Jay Garrick races around Surtur, trying to extinguish his flames, but Surtur kills him and other heroes with a fiery burst. In a desperate move, Alan Scott offers Surtur a deal. Spare Earth and he will guide the god to destroy other worlds, thus saving one planet at the cost of billions. Surtur, though mocking, respects the offer and agrees. He merges with Alan Scott, transforming him into the Dread Lantern. Alan Scott then leaves Earth, heading into space to begin his assault on the universe. The story ends with Tempest recounting these events and Alan Scott flying off into the void. In the final story of Tales from the Dark Multiverse, we witness the conclusion of Dark Metal. In this alternate reality, instead of defeating Barbados, the Justice League is transformed into dragons under his control. Barbados, linked to Bruce Wayne, unleashes the Death Wave, a force that begins destroying all 52 universes in the Dark Multiverse. Amidst the chaos, Duke Thomas, Batman's last sidekick known as the Signal, races across collapsing universes, trying to save lives but ultimately only saving himself. Duke, who can see past versions of reality, struggles with the present until a power dampener reveals a desolate wasteland. Duke encounters the transformed Justice League members as dragons: Barbados, the Dragon of the End; Batman, the Hydra, Wonder Woman; Cryptothrax, Superman; the Death Construct, Green Lantern; and Tyrant Worm, Aquaman. Duke tries to appeal to their humanity, but is nearly killed by Superman. As Superman is about to crush him, Dick Grayson emerges with a dark metal axe-turned guitar, using sound waves to harm the dragons and save Duke. Dick, now more cynical, blames Bruce for the current state of affairs and leaves. Duke follows him to the abandoned Justice League watchtower, where they find survivors: Hawkgirl, a giant Hawkman, a hybrid of Detective Chimp and Red Tornado, and the skeletal remains of Barry Allen. Duke rallies them to fight back against Barbados, convincing them to take down the dragons even if it means their own deaths. Their first move is to recruit a dragon of their own, the Joker, who was imprisoned by the Batman who laughs for disobedience. As the heroes approach, the Batman who laughs traps them using Zatanna's severed hand for spells. Dick sneaks in, frees the Joker, who then kills the Batman who laughs by burning him with his fire breath. Duke convinces Joker to join their fight. The heroes split up to tackle their targets. Barry defeats the Death Construct by removing its lantern ring. Bobo traps Diana with the lasso of truth and has Tornado self-destruct, killing them both. And Hawkgirl and Hawkman face Aquaman's dragon, resulting in their mutual destruction. With only Superman's dragon and Barbados left, Duke, Dick, and Joker confront them. Dick kills Superman's dragon with a kryptonite pick, while Barbados kills the Joker dragon. Duke, challenged by Barbados, finds Bruce Wayne restrained inside Barbados's mouth and kills him with a dragon-tooth sword, ending Barbados's reign. Realizing the Death Wave still threatens, Duke fashions armor from the fallen dragon, becoming the final knight. He confronts Tempest, criticizing him for merely observing and causing the godly figure to crumble. Clad in his new armor, Duke embarks on a mission to scour the Dark Multiverse and eradicate all hidden evil. Thank you for watching, and as always, like and subscribe for more comic book content.